Missouri begins with these famous columns. This is one of the great universities in the Midwest, but the football program has been struggling. It's been 13 long years since they fielded a winning team, but now they're on the rebound, and today 60,000 will watch as the Tigers hope to show the nation that they're on the rise. The Tigers have lost only once this year, that a tough game at the hands of Kansas, and today they welcome one of the best programs in the country, a school that also knows a lot about tradition. The Buckeyes of Ohio State, unbeaten and a week away from opening up the Big Ten. There's a lot of college football on this Saturday, so let's send you right now to New York. ABC Sports welcomes you to the rich tradition of college football. Missouri hosts Ohio State, and here at Missouri is one of the great journalism schools in this country. Let's check in with young Sean McGarvey on the traditions here at Missouri.
Thanks, Brent. It seems like nowadays there's collegiate tradition wherever you turn. Former head coach Don Flo had a vision of tradition, and it shows in the stadium that he helped to create. Missouri Tigers running back Brock Olivo is on the verge of breaking tradition. He's just 36 yards away from becoming the school's all-time rushing leader. On the other side of the football, the Buckeyes' Andy Katzenmoyer is making a tradition of his own. In his sophomore season, the Big Cat has become one of the nation's elite. Now, I'm standing in front of the arch at the journalism school, and the tradition here is if you're talking while walking through that arch, you're going to fail your next exam. Let's see if the Missouri Tigers can pass their big test against the Ohio State Buckeyes, today on ABC Sports.
And the Tigers pour onto the field here in Columbia. The crowd has been fired up all week. Good afternoon and welcome everybody with my partner Dan Fouts. I'm Brent Musburger. Nice to have you along with us. And I want to tell you, they got their hands full. This Buckeye team may be young, but it's good.
Well, number one, quarterback Stanley Jackson will start. He will play today. And because of the style of defense the Missouri Tigers play, head coach John Cooper told me before the game that he expects Jackson to run the ball more than normal. But Cooper also said the real advantage the Buckeyes have is at the wide receiver position. He doesn't think the Tiger cornerbacks can stay with David Boston or D. Miller.
So we shall see. Two old friends will match wits today. There, of course, is John Cooper of Ohio State. Won the Rose Bowl. There's Larry Smith, formerly the head man at USC. We'll be right back. Ohio State will get the ball first, and Jack Arute, anything special planned for their injured quarterback Stanley Jackson?
Well, when Jackson comes out to take the field after that kickoff, he'll be wearing this brace, Brent. The same brace he put on in the fourth quarter of the game last week against Arizona. It allows him the mobility to move back and forth, but it keeps his knee immobile. It's his left knee. We watched him in practice and pregame warm-ups. It does not seem to have affected his throwing motion or his drop back. But the one thing to remember is the fact that Jackson likes to scramble.
So we will watch young Jackson. And Tim Geiger, the kickoff specialist, gets ready to put this one in the air. The plan, according to Coach Smith, Dan, is to try to keep the ball out of the hands of Gary Berry and especially Michael Wiley deep for the Buckeyes.
So what they're going to ask Tim Geiger to do is to pooch the kickoff, and we saw that from Arizona last week against Ohio State. In fact, one time the Arizona kicker kicked the tee almost as far as he kicked the ball, but what they want to do, see that Wiley is on the receiving left side of the field, so watch for Geiger to try to pooch it to the right side around the 20-yard line. Biggest game in years here in Columbia. There is that slipped kickoff. A penalty flag is thrown. Wisniewski on the other side for the Bucks. The ball is at the
35-yard line. But again, there is a penalty marker back at the 40. This is one of those split crews, Big 10, Big 12. We'll see how it works out. Just inside the 10-yard line, Garnett making the stop. We mentioned Ohio State football. When you look at Larry Smith, the biggest influence in his coaching life when he was growing up was Woody Hayes. He was more influenced by Woody and the way he played ball control than anybody else.
No huddle right now for Missouri.
First down and goal. They come right up. And Olivo for perhaps a yard, but no more behind Janes. And Joe Brown, the freshman nose man. What a future he has ahead of him for Ohio State. 6'7", 265. Second down and goal. They ride the option. Jones tries to get daylight. Touchdown, Missouri! Kirby Jones responds. Nickman will attempt the extra point to tie the game. And Missouri ties Ohio State. 65 yards on their drive, 13 plays, and we're all even at 7 with Coach Smith loving that drive by his Tigers.
This is college football on ABC Sports.
Sellout crowd, more than 60,000 on hand, watching Missouri with a 4th down and 5. They'll go for the lead here. Scott Nickman out of St. Louis. The ball will be put down at the 17-yard line. 27-yarder coming up. Missouri leads for the first time. John Cooper, when he came out today, knew that he was going to have trouble not only with the running game but with something else, and that's the footing. Cows could graze on the length of the grass here. Why not? It's the home field advantage. Slow down that speed a little bit. A week ago at Columbus, it was very short and tight, and here you see the highest salaried special teams coach in the country. Larry Smith, once at Arizona, then at USC, now here at Missouri, works hard with special teams. He knows what a difference it can make.
Yeah, it was interesting watching him work the clock there. Didn't even look like he looked up to see if the ball went through or not, huh?
Only how much time it took to get it off, Dan.
Yeah, he's got to be extremely happy with his start. You know, one thing about the Buckeye defense, if you go back to last week, they gave up 3 straight scores to the Arizona Wildcats, and so far today, 2 possessions for the Tigers, and they've scored on both of them.
It is 14-10, Ohio State leading Missouri. The key moment in this game came when Joe Germain came off the Buckeye bench and went 43 yards with his first snap to D. Miller. Now watch this one very carefully, folks. Watch what happens as he starts down to the ground. Dan Fouts.
Yeah, well, that ball hits the ground very clearly. The official standing right there. Good job by Miller covering up, but clearly that ball was incomplete. Next play, Germain hits Boston for the touchdown.
So Stoltz to kick it off. Missouri to handle it first with Potter and West standing back on their own 5-yard line. Now, Dan told you that on the next snap, Jermaine threw a 5-yard touchdown pass to Boston, who made a fine juggling catch. Watch the concentration on this ball, Dan.
No question that this is a touchdown as he tips it to himself and shows the official he has the ball. But the big play, that 43-yard completion, that really wasn't a completion. But Jermaine, you cannot deny the fact that he's got the hot hand. 4 for 4 for 102 yards passing.
This is college football on ABC Sports.
With Dan Fouts and Jack Arute, I'm Brett Musburger, and we get ready for the last 15 minutes here. Big weekend in Columbia, Missouri. A lot of excitement. Tigers, though, need to keep them excited here.
You notice Jackson is taunting the crowd, but he's got his offensive line between him and the crowd.
Here is second down at 11. Corby Jones trying to keep this rally going against the Bucks. First time they've been across midfield. Last play. Here it is.
Thank goodness.
Jones back. Gets it off. End zone. Jump ball. And interception by Ohio State. There is Percy King coming up with the football. The officials were sorting it out down below. That'll do it, folks. 31-10 Buckeyes right now. Let's send you to John Saunders.